What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title that, once again, I found myself in this position where the game is not much of a looker, but man, is it a player. This is a title that makes me excited about whatever the developer is going to do next, because the 1.0 version of his first roguelike, Lost Flame, is very, very good. I've been playing around with this game for about an hour and a half. I've had a blast doing it, and if you like classic roguelikes, you're really going to want to take notice of this one. It doesn't look super beautiful with its tile set, but it is crisp, it is clear, and that's very necessary for what this game is trying to accomplish. This is a game that has rooted itself very heavily in Diablo-style gameplay mixed with something like Elden Ring, so this is a title where every single time you move, every single turn is going to be consequential in combat, and paying attention to your positioning, what AoEs you're standing inside of, what bonuses you're stacking as a character as you go through the game, all principally important to make sure you survive and go a little bit further each time based on the metagame knowledge that you've gleaned. If you've ever played Tales of Maj'Eyal and you're a fan of Tales of Maj'Eyal, I would give this one a close look, but today we're going to play it for about 30 minutes. We're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you'd rather pass on. That's perfectly fine. This is one of those oh-so-rare games that is not an early access title. It is done. I don't know if the developer has any like roadmap or things that he's planning on adding to the game, but it's got nearly perfect reviews, which means that everybody else is noticing what I'm noticing too, that like, damn, this is a banger. So without further ado, the link is down there just in case you wanted to check it out. On top of that, you can also take a look down there and find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links that I think are pretty great. But let's dive on into the game. We'll give it a go, and hopefully we don't die catastrophically on our way down into the Hungering Caverns. At the beginning of the game, you're gonna awaken on the gray shore, and this is what the game looks like. We've got line of sight, we've got a nice little, actually I find the tile set to be pleasant, like it's crystal clear as it needs to be, but I have found that as my career goes along, graphics have become more and more and more important to audiences, and so I always kind of call it out at the beginning. So here at the beginning of the game, there's a couple of different places we can go. There's a lighthouse that's over on the right-hand side of the edge of the island. I would not go there with a new character. I tried to go there once or twice with a level 1 character, and it seems like I always get roundly stomped out the second I get on in there. Maybe it's because all of my initial attempts were on brand new characters when I was also a brand new player that didn't understand the mechanics, but still, we're going to want to go into the Hungry Caverns first. Now, this game has a very simple UI. Unfortunately, we are able to zoom in and out, but we aren't able to resize the UI. I would like to be able to do that if it was modular and I could slide things around. That'd be even better in something akin to an MMO edit mode, but I do wish that there was UI scaling in this game. I went through the different settings and whatnot, but I haven't really been able to find anything that allows me to do that. There are some quality of life things here, but that's one feature that I would like to see added. When it comes to the controls, the game is very much a classic roguelike. You're going to be moving around either with the mouse, or you can move around with the arrow keys or your numpad. Enter is going to confirm your contextual choice. So like right now we're standing on top of a ladder that goes down into the depths. I press enter and I am now in here. The other thing as a new player you're going to want to be really aware of is down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you've got a whole bunch of buttons. I do think these would look better in full color to make them pop a little bit more, but these buttons are all abilities that are given to your character by the equipment that you have on at the moment of use. So for example, with our short sword here, we can lunge at an enemy. That's a charge. It just takes us towards the enemy and stabs them real fast. We've got jump over. This allows us to leap over a character and to the adjacent tile on the other side of them while striking them. We've also got strike from behind. This is an attack that goes in front of us and behind us in the direction of the attack. We've got disarm, so we can knock a weapon out of their hand. We've got tumble. Tumble is a special case. You always have tumble. Tumble is your dodge roll. If you've ever played Dark Souls, your tumble in this game allows you to tumble out like 2 tiles to the left, the right, forward, whatever direction you want to go in, but it's got a cooldown that's set by your character's encumbrance level, which you can find in your character sheet. Here's our first enemy. It's a bandit. They are stuck behind... Oh, what are you? You are a soulless hound. I don't think he's soulless, dude. There's no such thing as a soulless hound. Either way, I took him out with a lunge right there. He was an unfriendly puppy, so he had to go. This bandit's going to try to close the gap with us. I'm going to lunge at him. I'm going to stab that one right there. We've got another bandit on this side. I will probably leap over the top of him. leaping over the top of him did not work. Now you see that our character is outlined in red right now. That means the enemy is targeting a big attack right there. These early enemies are going to keep it really simple. They're going to attack one tile, they're going to telegraph that to you, and the game is going to expect that you're an adult and you know how to process that information. And as the game gets more complex, these skills that you're learning on the first couple easy floors are going to be very, very important. We got a couple of swords on the ground right there. I will pick those up. We've got a bunch of gold coins. We've also got a red lava stone. It's not identified, so unfortunately we're not going to know what it does. This game does have a very unique mechanic for how things are identified. You are just not going to know in this game what anything does until the next time you level up. If I go to my character sheet, you can see right here we've got 4 out of 10 XP. When we level up, everything in our inventory gets instantly identified. So you've got a choice. You can throw this stuff onto your character and you can hope to God that it's not cursed, or you can hope to God that it's got really cool stats like a +3 blessing of lava spitting or something else like that that bathes the entire arena in AoE fire. But until you level up, you're not really gonna know. You just gotta kind of pay attention to it. And then the other important piece of information that we started, or the other piece of important equipment that we've started out with, here's our spirit file. You get 2 charges. So this is a health potion. It gets rid of all your debuffs and gives you all your stamina and all of your health back. You can only use it twice per level up though, so pay attention to it and don't use it haphazardly. That's not the only place that you can get heals from. Did those give me XP? They did. That's not the only place that you can get heals from. There will be assorted potions that you will find inside the dungeon, but for now it's pretty much all we've got on us. Let's step out of that attack right there. We'll bait him over this way. Oh my god, we're missing a lot. It's okay, he's dead. They've dropped a bunch more equipment. I do pick up everything because there is a salvaging mechanic in this game that we will become privy to later. As it stands right now, we can't salvage gear, but once we get access to the town, so there's a town that you can teleport through through the usage of bonfires down here in the dungeon, there is a method by which you can take gear that you don't want and convert it into gear that you may want in a roulette or I guess lottery style system. Let's go down to the next floor, and that is going to put us up against our first boss, Ivor, the oldest giant. So Ivor right here, we're going to want to watch out for him. There are a whole bunch of enemies in this area, and I would strongly recommend maybe using Ivor's AoEs to clear them all out so that we have a place to fight this guy. I am going to tumble down to there to get onto the side of him, and pay attention to the little gray X. That's where you're attacking the enemy at. Otherwise, you're going to be moving. And so we'll get a little bit of damage off on him. He's almost at half health. The good news is, Ivor, he's kind of a gimme boss in this game compared to some of the ones you're going to run into like 8, 9, 10 layers down in the dungeon. However, we do have a little mushroom guy headed towards us, and we're going to have to deal with him. Now, these mushroom guys, they have thorns on them. You're going to want to memorize this stuff. So while the dungeon layout is different every time you go through, the enemies are mostly the same, and they do the same things. And memorizing the stuff that enemies do is going to be very important to your survival, just like with every other roguelike. These little mushroom guys, though, I can't really smack them very well because they've got thorns, and I don't want to lose health right now, especially after a level up. Now, when you level up, you're going to get a thing called a soul shard. You can take that to your character sheet, and inside your character sheet, you should be able to use that to increase your base attributes. Everything in this game scales with the various attributes that you have, so some weapons scale really well with dexterity, some weapons will scale really well with witchcraft, all those sorts of things like you've seen in other FromSoft-inspired titles. My stamina is really low right now, and these guys are starting to cut me off. It looks like there's a smaller room up here. I think Ivar's room always has a chest inside of it, and so I would like to find that chest, and I would like to loot that chest because early game gear is going to be exceptionally important to our survival. There it is. So it looks like we got ourselves a Griff Steel Gauntlet. That's pretty good. That's going to give us some armor. We've also got a Gemerald Ring over here, and we've got a Square Amulet. Unfortunately, we got those after we leveled up, so we're not going to know what they do for a little bit. But, ow! The green mold touched me? Did it? I didn't see any green mold. Little bastard. Alright, well, let's just sneak past them real quick. I think they only act like every 5 or 6 turns, so I should be able to walk right past most of them, and then we'll go down to the next level. On the next level, these right here, I don't know if they're supposed to be bookcases. I think that's what they are. These are just tutorials right here. And you notice they don't give you any tutorials till after you beat the first boss. They did that so that the game could build up theme and like ambiance and all that kind of stuff. Get you kind of pulled into the atmosphere of the game and get you accustomed to the fact that you're going to have to, you know how, so if you've ever played Bloodborne, you ever notice how that game gives you a shield right after it makes you go through a bunch of fights that force you to perfect dodge and force you to perfect parry? It's like that. They want you to observe the mechanics first and internalize them, and then after that, they're like, all right, let me fill in some of the details right there. Good game design. Let's pick up all that gold because it will be useful a little later. We're going to bait these guys back to the hole right here, roguelike style. I think I can kill him as long as I don't miss. Yeah, I'm going to step. There we go. Got him. I'm going to pick up all their stuff because the only limit on what you can carry is this entire list right here. When this completely and totally fills up all the way down to the bottom, your inventory is officially full. But here's a cool feature. None of the stuff inside your inventory causes encumbrance. The only things that cause encumbrance are things that are on your person right this second. And so, as long as you don't have it equipped, it doesn't count in this game, and I love that. I have never been a fan of inventory systems that give you arbitrary weight limits and stuff like that. All it does is serve to bum you out when you can't carry everything back to town. Ooh, that's not good. I don't want to fight that right now. That thing's tougher than me. That thing's extra scary. That's the Chimera. We're going to need a little bit more damage if we want the Chimera to go down. So that does 2d9. That's going to give us 2 to 18 damage. I can actually dual wield these right here, I think. Yeah, and that'll give me a parry. Parries all melee attacks in the next 10 ticks and damages all attackers, and it stuns them if more than one are parried. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. We can lunge and jump over. Okay, well, let's give this a run. Yeah, they're just going to sit right there, aren't you? Okay, so I'm going to have to dodge into this room just to get next to this mob. Ow. Okay, so let me drink a potion real quick. We're going to move over to here. We're going to try to get some damage off, I think. But I think we should probably parry. Yeah, parrying was a good idea. We've got an attack going out right there. This thing is sitting on like half health right now, and I've only got one potion left. My parry and my dodge, they are not up yet. Okay, I'm out of stamina, so that's going to be a problem. Let's buy... Yeah, he's getting a double attack every now and again. That's really what's going to get us before anything else. Let's just kind of like stay away from him from right now, but that double attack is going to be a big problem as the game... What's he doing? Is he trying to do like a jumpy, dashy thing? I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he bleeding? It looks like his health is going down. Didn't it? It kind of looked like his health was going down. Did it just like stop wanting to fight me? Oh, it's doing like a stunning jump? Okay, well, I'm going to use a couple seconds then to get myself all fitted up. With a little bit... Yeah, just keep lunging, dude. We've got it on the run right now. I think what it was trying to do is it was trying to line up... It has a jumping cat pounce attack that stuns you and hits you for, like, your entire health bar. I think it was trying to line that up, but it couldn't figure out the angle that it wanted. And so I'll take it. A victory's a victory, man. We got some kind of frog monster coming in over here. Does he spit or anything? Let me look at my inventory. So we've got Griff Steel Handguards of Infinite Rage. What does it do? Gives the ability to increase your weapon damage by 50% for 100 ticks, and it gives us 6.5 armor. Armor in this game, for every 7 points of armor you have, damage is reduced by 1. That's the entire equation. That's all you need to know. So we are going to equip those right there because we are still unencumbered at the moment with all of our equipment on us. We've got a silver ring over here. What does the ring of metal do? Attacking a surprised enemy with a melee weapon regenerates a stamina every 10 ticks 5 times. An enemy is surprised for 10 ticks after noticing you or for 10 ticks after you get into 3 tiles of range. I'll take that, and I appreciate that they explained that to me. Ow. Little bastard. How dare you? He took all my stamina away, dude. Whack. Did he put a poison on me? Oh, he did. I'm sick and I'm losing stamina every single turn. Does the sickness go away on its own? We do have an amulet of life-saving inside of here, but I don't think that's going to save my stamina. I've been walking around for some... There we go. Finally fell off. Good stuff. I was wondering if it was going to be limited in duration. We do have water right here. I would suggest lunging or jumping, maybe. Actually, strangely, I can't tumble or jump over the water, so I'm guessing we need some kind of levitation amulet or something in order to do it. All right, well, let's carry on forward. We're going to want to watch our HP right now because it's not in the best shape that it's ever been. But we should have our first stop to town very shortly, too. We got a couple of... Ow, my ass! It's been shot with an arrow. Okay, so let's drag this guy around a corner very rapidly. And now that he's drugged around a corner, we will smack him up real good and clean. It looks like he dropped a helmet. That's also good. I'll take that. We've got soul shards. Not too worried about the soul shards right now. We don't know if the leather cap is cursed, so I may hold on to it until I level again. You little turd. Man, turd Ferguson's everywhere. All right, we've got the archer pinned down. Let's lunge on him. He's now dead. And let's pick up everything he has so that we can feed it to the vendor when we get back down over there. I don't know exactly what I want to do with my build just yet. I'll probably go with... Let's go with some endurance because I have noticed that our stamina is going down much too rapidly for me personally, and it's been a bit of a bummer having to put a pause on the old murderous onslaught. There we go. That's going to be the place where we can teleport to town. So inside of town, there's a bunch of different vendors that you can interact with. There's Brockbrog. He's going to allow you to destroy items, so you can feed him items. And if you feed him enough items, he will eventually spit out other items. Since we're sitting on top of just a ton of stuff that's completely and totally useless to us, I'm okay with getting rid of a whole lot of it. So we'll get rid of the giant clubs, the wooden clubs. I'm not going to get rid of anything else. It doesn't sound like we got lucky. It plays a sound effect if the thing that you donate generates a free item. You can also talk to him and you can get some vague world lore, sort of in Dark Souls fashion, where they say a bunch of stuff without saying anything. With this guy, the Thayer's Station, we could get a kite shield of thorns. We could also get brass gauntlets. We've already got the steel gauntlets, though, so that's not going to help us. However, I do like the idea of the sturdy brass kite shield dealing back. It looks like it can do 0 to 4 damage whenever it blocks. Okay. I like that idea. We don't really have any money right now, though, so... This lady right here, she sells off items and will identify stuff for you in case you wanted any of the stuff that's inside of her inventory. Right now, we're kind of broke as a joke. The game also has remarkably solid voice acting all the way through, in case you were wondering. I don't remember if there's anything down here. I think I walked down here one time, but like I didn't really... It looks like it just loops around. Okay, well, we're good to go for right now. Do I have any more level ups? I have no more soul shards. Nothing else has been identified, so we're going to have to wait for a level up. But the good news is we're not that far off of a level up right now. We have failed to get ourselves a weapon that's a complete and total banger, so we've got an acid lizard right there. Acid lizards are a problem. Yeah, that would be why right there, is because she came with a spider. Let's go... Oh, the lizard's webbed as well. Okay. I'm not massively in love with being trapped like this. Yeah. Can I dash out of this? I can dash out of that. That's good to know. Spider, you want to get a little bit closer to me while that one's pinned? And then I'm going to stab you in the face, and I'm going to kite you a little bit. Move back over to here and try not to get aciditidid on. Oh, that's super bad. Okay, let's drink that, but we are in an acid puddle right now, and getting webbed inside of an acid puddle is precisely as devastating as you might have guessed. He's lining up to web us again, so I gotta get him real fast. Dodge forward. Get to there, and down he goes. That was actually a fairly precarious fight. That was a tough one. Like, acid lizards, they will kill your character. Of all the creatures in this game, acid lizards, they are very, very dangerous. I don't know if you noticed how much damage that acid puddle was doing turn over turn, but it was considerable. I heard some noises. Okay. Let's pull back around a corner so the archers can't get us. Ow, he had a charge. I didn't expect that. Okay, well, now you can be dead as an exchange for that charge. I would like to try and get near one of you so that I can splat you all over the place. You done's been splatted, kid. Give me all your gear, and then give me that. And we've got a treasure chest. Hell yeah. It's got an iron mace that's got a magical enchantment on it. Good. So if the item's name is in blue, that means it's a magically enchanted item. That means it's going to have some kind of good thing going for it. If it's in red and it's jiggling slightly on the ground, it'll kind of like bounce up and down. Don't touch that. That's going to be a cursed item. You can pick it up and feed it to Brock if you want, but under no circumstances should you equip that item. I couldn't find the stairs out of here, and it's because they were underneath a web. Gotcha. You can auto-explore in this game. If you've played a lot of roguelikes, you'll know what that means. It's a hotkey that you hit that allows you to auto-explore the dungeon. I think you could set it up to auto-fight as well if you want to. Dogs down. What's in here? A bunch of bandits and dogs. I can live with that. They should die end over end, and we just identified a bunch of gear, which means that we should have. We've got an Iron Mace of Carnomancy. Okay, Carnomancy is a spellcasting thing in this game, so for magic to work inside this title, you need to have levels of Carnomancy. So this right here, it will give us +3 to our Carnomancy, and if you notice, we got a new ability put down here. We can summon a minion that will follow us around and fight for us. The higher your Carnomancy level, the more spells you get. It's really that simple. We got a red potion and some scrolls. What kind of scrolls and things do I have? I have a potion of endurance, a potion of confusion. Can I throw that? I can throw that at the enemy. Okay, so that might be a good get out of jail free card. I am going to equip that to get a little bit more armor on our person. We've got a ring of grit. Killing an enemy gives 4 stamina. I definitely want that. I will take that. We've got Ring of Frenzy. After killing an enemy, your speed goes up by 15 for 70 ticks. I don't know what the tick rate is in this game. I don't know if it functions on a normal base 100 tick rate like every other roguelike does. I assume that it does, but you know what they say about assuming. It backfires. I will equip the other Ring of Grit too. Why not? Now I'm getting 8 stamina back whenever I kill an enemy, which is almost a full stamina bar. We got this guy to contend with over here. We'll wait one. I am going to parry up. Did the parry work? Kind of. We still took a damage, but like not that big of a deal. We stunned him, so that's going to go off right there. He's running for it, so let's finish him off. We got his weapon, his gold, all that good stuff that you like to find on a bandit in an RPG. Let's cut off to the left. A bunch of archers, so we're going to want to break line of sight right there before this gets any more nasty. See if I can kill him quick. We've got a potion of endurance again, which is good. Oh, there's a spider in here. Okay, we'll kill what you can, where you can. Good. Okay, they're down. Oh, no. Okay, dodge behind I'm confused. Oh, that's not great. I would prefer not to be confused. I would also prefer not to get trapped in this room with this dude if I can manage it. I guess we'll... Oh, I'm confused again. Let's summon the flesh. Ooh, this is not ideal. Okay, so get rid of that. We'll dodge over to here. I need to put some kind of damage on this guy. But he's real fast, is the problem we're running into. Also got a pretty solid chin on him. There we go. We finally got him. I puckered a little bit right there. I thought there was a strong chance that I might die. It was not looking good, but we did get a healing potion, which is nice. That'll give us, 2 healing potions. Hell yeah. We got scrolls. We got Griff steel swords. One problem I have with this game is that I keep hitting the G key to get stuff in classic roguelike fashion. That's Caden's essence right there. Caden's essence, you can take it to the wizard lady in town and you can use it to craft gear that's very, very good. Or kind of mediocre. It sort of depends what she has. We've also got a cave viper over here. I would like to put on that blessed Griff steel sword. Yeah, I like that a lot better than what we had. There we go. Snake's on us now, though. Hey, 13 damage? What does it do? Hold up. Where's my Griff steel sword at? So it does 2d8 plus 2. So we've got 4 to 16 damage with a plus 10 to hit, and then every 3 turns we get a double attack. It also has crazy low encumbrance, so we're doing pretty well right now. Maybe we'll go with dexterity scaling, but for the moment, yeah, I guess I can do that. We're getting 10% more damage out. Should give us an extra damage every now and again. I should probably go back to town and offload all of my stuff. We're starting to get kind of full up. And so let's talk to Brock real fast, and I'm just going to donate, like, everything that I have on me and just see if we get anything good. He burped, which means we should get some stuff. Looks like we got a magically enchanted short bow this time around. Most of that stuff was mundane, so I wasn't expecting to get a lot out of it. Do we have any money for what he has available right now? We can get a steel great axe of burning, which is gonna be pretty good. So this thing by default does 7 to 15 damage, plus another 2 to 8 minus 2, so like plus another 0 to 6. But it is cursed, it looks like, or it's got a -1 enchant on it. I don't know. I'm scared to touch it. We do have heavy steel boots over here, though, which will give us like 5.1 armor. I think maybe the shield is probably our best option, though. I'll take the shield, and I'll take the botas. Let's get both of those. And so I'm going to put the shield in my left hand. That way, ooh, our encumbrance is up. We are now unencumbered, but I mean, the orange looks scarier than it actually is, but our encumbrance is now officially going up. We'll get our armor tooled up a little bit better. We're almost on 3 damage mitigation right now. Let's go back over to her and see what she can craft with Caden's essence. So we've got 3 things here that I'm interested in. We have a Ring of Rocks. That gives us a 20% chance on every attack to stun the enemy, which is pretty major for boss slaying. We've got a Ring of Speed, which just makes us flatly 20 faster, meaning we get a double move every 5 turns. So we've also got a Scroll of Enchanting right here, which we could use on a piece of our gear to make it even better than it currently is. I don't know what I want to go for just yet, but I think the Ring of Rocks is the winner because I haven't been seeing a whole lot of benefit out of that green ring that we've been rocking, and so I'm going to equip that right there for the stun chance. That feels just right to me. Let's go back to the Hungry Caverns and see how bad this gets inside of here. So where was our ladder at? There it is. All right, so down the ladder we go to Hungry Caverns 5. With this newly found Griff Steel Sword, the Child of Iffy. I don't know what that does. Maybe a summon or something? What does he do? Well, I mean, we hit him pretty hard. He also smacked us up pretty good. There's that Iffy right there. That's a Candle Champion. Okay. Let's start maneuvering a little bit. Wipe out some of his extra cohort here. I have my Griff Steel on, right? They must just have very high damage mitigation. That's all that I can figure. A Brass Bastard Sword. Could probably live with that. Let's charge up on him. Down he goes. My man got trundled. Absolutely lamped. I am going to take some of his money. We've got a breastplate, a halberd, and a spear. Do spears attack out to, like, 2 spaces? Is that a thing that they do? It is blessed, but it's not enchanted. But it's going to give us 9 to 13 damage versus the 4 to 18 that we have. So, like, it'll bring up our lower end a lot. It scales better than our other weapon. Yeah, let's go ahead and wield that on the right, I guess. We'll go with a spear. I am now officially weighted, though, so we're going to have to be careful about this. Our next couple level ups, we may want to think about getting Constitution to raise up our weighted and, like, there we go. Let's raise our inventory capacity real fast. There we go. Now we're looking a little bit better because we do have a steel cuirass over here that I think 13 armor is pretty major. That still keeps us inside weighted. What's the cooldown on my dodge with weighted? It's not too bad, but we are getting heavier right now. So in the off chance, oh, we can attack out to 2. Well, that just balances it out right there, like that. Let's take the brass longsword. Take the gold, 74 gold pieces. Hell yeah, dude. Getting money. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. I would like that wizard to go away. I do think that would be optimal. Grab some of those goodies, pick up a few of these things. I am in the business of stacking XP right now because I need to level up my endurance. Over on this side, I don't see anybody. Well, there's a door. Yeah, another mana core right there. Okay. Hey. 3 20% rolls in a row for the stun? Hell yeah. Let's get some constitution. Just keep taking that up. I don't think they dropped anything good, but we did get a whole bunch of identifications here on random items. And so it may be worth looking through and just seeing what we have available. I'm going to step on into the room because it looks like we got another chamber right there. I haven't really been looking for things like secret doors or whatever else, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. So take that with a grain of salt. If you guys want to come over here, yeah, come closer to the guy with the spear. That's what I need from you. Blocks your first 2 attacks each turn and reduces their damage by 56%. So shields actually have a very real benefit to you in combat. A few more scrolls. I'll just take this stuff for donating to Brock. And was there a door down here? Doesn't look like it. Where was our next set of stairs at? Oh, we haven't found it yet. Oh, hey, what's up, big dog? Got him. A long wand. Bad guy had a long wand. How lucky for him. A little bit of gold right there. Definitely take that for the stash. And then I think we will continue just exploring around until we find the exit. There we go. Actually, I think we already found the exit. I think the ladder goes up at this point. Oof, that's a long-range cast right there. Oof. I am very on fire. The good news with all these AoEs flying around is that AoEs can hit enemies as well as they can hit us. So you won't have to wait too long before all these wizards and whatnot blasting their way through the chamber end up killing 90% of the stuff in the room anyways. We do have something right here, a steel short sword named Spider's Bite. Oh, we got a legendary. Very nice. Okay, what's that right there? A steel barbed spear. Okay, we're full up right now, so I've got nothing else that I can do. With the Spider's Bite, does that need to be identified first before we know what it does? It does need to be identified. How close are we to a level right now? Not that close, but like getting closer. Let's grab everything out of these that we possibly can. And maybe, just maybe, I think I'm going to go back to town. I think that's my next order of business, is to go back to town. I'm sort of curious about checking out the lighthouse now that I have a whole bunch of equipment. I'm sort of interested in it, but let's donate some stuff to him first. We did get a couple of burps, so he's going to spit out items over the next little bit, and we'll kind of see what we get. And we got a short bow, and we got 2 scrolls. Better than nothing. I mean, better than a sharp stick in the eye, like my dad used to say. We can decurse items, which is nice, but I'm sitting on $600 right now. Can I identify the Spider's Bite blade and just see if that's any good? Because it's a legendary, which makes me think that it might be good. So it's going to do 4 to 16, and some of that is poison damage. It gets a double attack a bunch, though, so it's got a really fast speed, and it makes you immune to webs. When you hit an enemy, it has a chance to web them as well. It doesn't hit that hard, but I'm sort of curious about it. Like, it's a legendary, you know what I mean? Like, maybe we go for it. Do I have any crafty boy stuff right now? I would like to add enchantments to it to make it hit harder. The Ring of Outburst. What does that do? Attacking with weapons and evocations harms all nearby enemies for 40% of the damage dealt. That's pretty spicy, too, for a fast-hitting weapon like this. Oof, okay, they got me thinking about... I'm still not wearing any pants, man. My dong is to the breeze at the moment. You got any pants? Can I wear pants, please? I've been Donald Ducking it this entire dungeon, and I would like to no longer be Donald Ducking it. This little guy right here, you can talk to him, but he kind of like kites you around. He doesn't have any dialogue or anything else, but he's the one that sells all the ranged weapons, just in case you want to be a ranged character. I think we should try out going to the lighthouse. That's what I feel interested in right now. This might be a terrible idea, but it might also be a fantastic idea. Very difficult to say at this juncture. That thing has 250 health and more stamina than I've ever seen in my life, so I'm going to sprint the hell away, and we're just going to leave. Okay, it was a terrible idea. It was an awful idea. I wanted to go in there. I have now learned that going in there is a terrible idea. Good news is, now that I'm back where we were, I can grab that steel short sword. Nothing but an abyss right there. What's... oh. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Oh, where did my weapon go? There we go. I don't have a weapon on right now. I mean, we did all right. A stone with a Y rune. Okay. I'm immune to webs, so I don't need to worry about any of this stuff. We got a steel helmet. I think it would be a great idea for us to get out of this area for right now. What abilities do I... is it just a short sword? Is that all that it is? Okay. So he's now webbed up. This would actually be a really good weapon for an archer because you could web people and then run away. Like, it'd be a solid addition to an archer's kit. I don't know if you can set up alternate weapon gear that you can swap in between. The door is locked and you need a key. All right. What the hell is that thing? Pull the lever? I don't know that I'm trying to get my crunk on just yet. I think I'll probably just chillax. What the hell is that thing? Get out of here. Was that like a bird? Like a little Tweety bird that attacked me, man. A crow. All right. Well, I'm not that worried about birds given the breadth of giants, monsters, and other terrible stuff we've been fighting against. But honestly, I'm really happy with this game. My closing thoughts as of right now are that this is actually one of the better roguelikes I've seen since Path of Acra. This one has the juice right here. If you like classic roguelikes, this is 100% one to check out because the visual tile set was picked on purpose to maximize clarity so that you can see what's happening and you know what's going to occur, because you can tell that it was a conscious decision because everything else is done to such an exceptional level. The sound effects are punchy, they're crunchy, they feel great, the soundtrack is absolutely fantastic, the voice acting is really good too, which I did not expect from a game that looks like this right here. The itemization, the loot system, the progression system gives you a lot of leeway for you figuring out a build as you go down into the dungeon, to the extent that when I died, even playing my favorite roguelikes, things like Rogue Legacy, which is one of my all-time favorite roguelikes, or Tales of Maj'Eyal, very frequently I'm bummed out when I die. I'm just like, damn it, dude, now I gotta go from the top again. I did not get that feeling with this game over the couple hours that I played it, because every single time I played through the game, there was some item, or there was some weird thing that I picked up that I wasn't brave enough to give a shot to, or I was already committed to a previous build so I didn't get a chance to use it, that it made me immediately want to dive back on into the game, hoping that I would see that item again so that I could do an entire build around that idea. From there, the enemies, they are varied in their tactics. There's everything in here from summoners to AoE spammers to controllers to guys that mind control you, confuse you, or they try to move you around the battlefield, and all of the abilities are designed with their cooldown in such a way that the game doesn't lose any pacing. Your dodge roll is precisely as available as you want it to be, because it's linked to your gear weight. If you want to be very dodgy and able to use it every other turn, by all means, wear as little armor as you want, bear very, very light weapons, and just move around the battlefield freely. If you don't mind not having access to your dodge roll for long periods of time, clack out in super heavy armor and take absolutely zero damage from hits, or anything in between. You can use summons to stop the enemy from getting to you. You can use the dagger that we found in this run that webs things in combination with a bow in order to kite. Enemies will also try to kite you back. That's a very frequent strategy that you'll run into with other casters. This is one of those games that kept me on my toes, it kept me entertained, and it kept me engaged the entire time. Do not be fooled by the relatively low-budget nature of this game's Steam page. What this developer has put together is very good. It's incredibly sleek. It plays very well. It's hella smooth, and honestly, this is like roguelike peak right here. Don't sleep on this. I I liked it very, very much. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with a game called Lost Flame. Tomorrow we'll be playing something else. Thank you for hanging out with me, and that's about all I got for you, folks. Bye.